Hello guys, welcome back to ESENtaxa. Andrea Papito here. In today's video we are going to explore about the high net worth individual flat tax in Italy, and there are some hidden secrets. Some of those are advantages and some other are disadvantages of applying this tax regime. Now, if you're new to this channel, I just want to remind you quickly that ESENtaxa talks about how to optimize taxes if you move in a specific country, and we are the #1 channel that in English language explains how to optimize your taxation if you want to relocate to Italy. And in the description below the video you will have our email contact info@esentaxa.com or our Calendly link if you want to book a consultation with us, 20 minutes, 1 hour, or if you plan to have a tax simulation to understand your tax burden before moving to Italy and understanding tax-wise if the relocation to this country makes sense or not. If you look in the description below, we have also an offer about the Forfait Regime flat tax with a specific offer to open up the VAT position, the business position, if you want to start up your business in Italy and pay only 5% flat tax. Now, today I just want to talk about this tax regime. We have made several videos about it, but sometimes when we do when we provide our consultancy service, we discover that sometimes clients are asking some peculiar things, and we understand even more better which is the way of exploit this tax regime for certain categories of people, and maybe you can be one of those people belongs to this category. Now let me explain you better. First of all, in this video we are talking about the high net worth individual tax regime, flat tax regime, where flat tax it actually means paying a fee of 100,000 euro per year, fixed fee. Okay, and in exchange, the Italian government doesn't tax your foreign income. So if you move to Italy, if you become Italian tax resident, if you plan to live in Italy, all your foreign income produced abroad, and this is extremely important, this word, produced abroad, won't be taxed at the ordinary progressive tax rates. Okay, so you pay 100,000 euro and everything will be tax-free. If you think about it, and you don't have to, this is extremely important, you don't have to disclose your foreign asset. What does it mean, disclose? It means that you don't have to report on the Italian tax file return all your assets abroad, all your bank account abroad, companies abroad, and any financial assets abroad. Okay, so you can have interest, capital gains from them, you can run your business abroad, everything will be not subject to any ordinary taxation. Again, you only have to pay 100,000 euro. Second element, which is extremely advantageous for some of you guys, if you belong to certain scenarios, if you have a family member that wants to join the program with you, you have to add for every family member only 25,000 euro. And this is crazy advantages, because if both of you are millionaires, so if 100,000 euro is a very small amount of money for you to pay because you are making millions of euro in profit or in revenue abroad, and then of course this is going to be nothing compared to the taxes that you would pay maybe in your country of origin. And 25,000 euro, it's even crazy, it's a very small amount of money to pay if you make a million a year. Okay, so it's extremely advantageous if you, for example, if you're a couple, if you are two members of the same family, it can be your cousin, your aunt, your sister, your father, your mother. It's very, family members is very broad here in this law. And there is a similar tax file regime also in Greece, but the difference is that in Greece you have to pay 100,000 euro to invest in the country. In Italy you don't have to do this. Just that this is an optional regime that you can decide to opt or not, even though you're not rich. So you go to of course you have to be a new resident. And the important thing is that new resident means that you should not be tax resident in Italy in the last 9 years, in the previous 9 years. So this is extremely important. So as long as you're a new resident, as long as you're 100,000 euro fixed tax to pay, it's small amount of money for your income, it's perfectly fine. Another important point of this tax regime, it comes with a visa, a specific golden visa that allows you to stay in Italy and also in the Schengen area once you apply for this tax regime. So there is a specific golden visa that allows you to stay. So if you're not European citizen, you can apply for this regime, and it comes along with this visa. It's extremely important. So you have also the right to stay, and of course, once you stay, you have the right to pay only 100,000 euro tax. A small disadvantage that we have in this tax regime is that the capital gains tax on share of companies. Now, unfortunately, for this specific income, these capital gains realized in the first 5 years. So if you are Italian tax resident, you apply for this regime, and then you realize a capital gains because you want to sell your foreign company shares. In the first 5 years of applying this tax regime, you will be subject to the ordinary Italian withholding tax on capital gains, which is 26%. This is the only catch behind it. So if you are in this scenario, you have to evaluate if for 5 years you should not sell any shares abroad, okay? Shares of company that you detain abroad. Tax regime is for 15 years. It's a long time, okay? From the tax year that you opt for this application, when you start applying for this tax regime. So this is the only disadvantages. So make sure you don't want to sell any shares in the first 5 years when you are Italian tax resident while you are opting this tax regime. Otherwise, you will pay the ordinary withholding tax for capital gains in Italy. This tax regime allows you to spare taxes on your foreign income, but if you want to run a business in Italy, if your scenario is that I have multiple company in Italy, I want to invest in this country, I want to make money from Italy, this tax regime, it doesn't make sense for you, okay? So this tax regime, it makes more sense if you don't have any income produced in the Italian territories, but you have incomes and business abroad, run abroad, and all the income produced abroad is subject to this fixed taxation, okay? So the Italian income is subject to the ordinary taxation anyway, your foreign income is not. So, extremely important, this word, abroad. Abroad is the key word to benefit from this tax regime. Abroad means also when you run your business. Run your business. What does it mean running your business abroad? Let's go a little bit more in details. It means that if you're the only shareholder of your foreign company and you are the administrator, this is the classical case, the classical scenario, you're running a business online and you're running this business from the Italian territory, you're not producing this income abroad, but you're producing this income in Italy. So this income as administrator, and most likely also the company itself, won't be considered as a foreign one, but will be requalified as an Italian one. So be careful about this point. This tax regime works when you really use Italy as a base, and then you keep running physically your business abroad, okay? Now, the difference is that Italy doesn't requalify your foreign income, your foreign company automatically as an Italian one, because this tax regime has been designed that it's the Italian tax agency that has to prove that you're running your business in Italy. But because of this, you have to make sure to be outside the Italian border whenever you run your business. Now, to go more in details about this keyword, to make sure that you are applying for this tax regime correctly, we have previewed a service which is called pre-tax rule service. In Italian is known interpello, which is something that we can do and is previewed by law for this specific tax regime. So this interpello allows you to describe your situation, where your foreign company is located, how many days you're working abroad to run your foreign business, how much time you want to stay in Italy during this tax regime, for how many years, from which country you want to exclude your taxation, etc. There are several options. There are checklists of questions that we can submit to you, and in your behalf we can submit this interpello to the Italian tax agency. And once the Italian tax agency, based on your description, based on your situation, replies you with a positive answer, you will be bound by 15 years to their answer, which means that they cannot tax audit for the next 15 years, okay? So once they accept your situation, and as long as you keep the exact same situation that you have described in this document, in this pre-advanced tax ruling, the Italian tax agent cannot come back to you, chasing you, asking for clarifications, documental checks, tax audit, nothing, because they have already accepted your situation, and you basically are completely safe and bulletproof for any kind of problems in the next 15 years. Cherry on top of this tax regime is the Italian tax residency. And this is extremely important because in order to apply for this tax regime, you have to be Italian tax resident. And in order to be Italian tax resident, it's extremely easy. If you are not European, of course, you have to apply for the visa. Once you have the visa, you have to register yourself in the commune, in the municipality of your choice in Italy. And then from that moment, you just have to count 183 days. So if your name is registered in the municipality in Italy for more than 183 days, you are automatically tax resident by default, Italian tax resident. You can apply for this tax regime, which means that you don't have to stay in Italy for more than 6 months, okay? Because the name in the registration in the commune, in the municipality, it's already a strong ties that by Italian law oblige you to be Italian tax resident, okay? So basically the scenario, now I'm going to the main point of this video, is that which is your best scenario to apply for this tax regime? You need to have a jurisdiction in which you want to set up your tax resident in Europe. You want to stay in Europe, okay? You can pick up Italy, you can be Italian tax resident and apply for this regime, but for most of the time, you don't want to really stay in Italy. You just have to maybe have a rent in Italy, a place to stay for no more than 6 months if you want, because the rest of the time you're running your business in another country. Of course, make sure do not become tax resident in any other countries, because you don't have to pass more than 6 months in any of those, but you can run your business abroad, producing your real income abroad. Keep being Italian tax resident. Before doing this, we ask the clarification and the approval of the Italian tax agency, approval that bounds you for 15 years, and then you can pay only 100,000 euro every year, fixed fee amount of money on your million euros that you're making abroad. Okay? I hope I was clear. For any further clarifications, in the description below the video, you'll have our email contact, or as I said, the calendar link. And for anything else, if you want to stay updated about these kind of topics, subscribe to the channel, notification bell, and like button to help us grow as a channel. See you to the next topic. Bye.